The first attack came from 3 alien scout ships that broke away from the main fleet. They were small, fast vessels with bright blue hulls and wings that glowed with energy. Their weapons were charged and ready to fire. The alien pilots were confident. This would be over quickly. The lead scout ship fired first. A beam of pure energy shot out from its nose. The beam was bright white and made a sound like thunder as it cut through space. It was the kind of weapon that could slice a normal ship in half. The other scouts fired at the same time, filling the space around the Earthship with deadly energy. Li Hyun watched the beams hit his ship and waited. The alien energy weapons struck the hull and something amazing happened. The beams bounced off like light hitting a mirror. They scattered in all directions, lighting up the darkness of space but doing no damage to the Earthship at all. The alien pilots could not believe what they were seeing. Their most powerful weapons were completely useless. The energy beams that should have cut through the human ship like hot knives through butter were bouncing away harmlessly. They tried firing again and again, but the result was always the same. Park Nari had spent 2 years developing the special armor that covered the Earthship. It looked like ordinary metal on the outside, but it was actually made from materials that had never existed before. She had discovered how to make metal that could absorb and redirect energy. The alien weapons were feeding power to the human ship instead of damaging it. Choi Yuna did not wait for orders. She knew it was time to show the aliens what human weapons could do. She aimed at the lead scout ship and fired a single shot from what looked like an ordinary cannon. The projectile that came out was small and dark and moved faster than anything the aliens had ever seen. The round hit the alien scout ship in the center, and the entire vessel simply disappeared. There was no explosion, no fire, no debris. One moment the ship was there, and the next moment there was nothing but empty space. The other alien pilots stared in shock. They had never seen a weapon that could completely vaporize a spacecraft. The second scout tried to run Kim. Day pushed the engine controls forward, and the Earthship jumped ahead so fast it seemed to teleport. The alien pilot was still trying to turn his ship when the human vessel appeared right beside him. Choi Yuna fired again, and another alien ship vanished into nothing. The third scout was already running at full speed, but the Earthship was much faster. Kim Day flew like he was chasing a butterfly. The alien ship twisted and turned, trying to escape, but it was hopeless. The Earthship stayed right behind it no matter which way it went. Finally, Choi Yuna took the shot and the last scout disappeared. The main alien fleet watched all this happen in complete silence. Their 3 fastest ships had been destroyed in less than 2 minutes by a vessel that looked like it was held together with wire and hope. The fleet commander could not understand what had just happened. "How is this possible?" the commander asked over the radio. "Your ship looks like it was built in a cave by primitives. Our scouts had the most advanced weapons in the galaxy." Li Hyun answered in the same calm voice he had used before. "Your scouts had energy weapons," he said. "Our armor absorbs energy. Your scouts were fast. Our ship is faster. Your scouts were advanced. Our technology is beyond your understanding." The alien fleet commander was getting angry. He had brought 50 of the most powerful warships in the galaxy to deal with 1 human ship. He had expected this to be easy, but now 3 of his ships were gone, and he still did not know how. The commander gave orders to his fleet. "All ships attack at once," he said. "Surround the human vessel and fire everything you have. Do not let it escape." 20 alien warships moved toward the Earthship. They spread out to attack from all sides. Their hulls were covered with weapon ports that began to glow as they charged up. The aliens were using standard battle tactics that had worked for thousands of years. But the Earthship did not follow standard tactics. Kim Day flew in patterns that seemed impossible. The ship moved up and down and sideways in ways that confused the alien gunners. They tried to predict where it would go next, but it kept changing direction. The aliens fired hundreds of energy beams and missiles at the Earthship. Most of them missed because the ship was moving too strangely. The ones that hit were absorbed by the armor or bounced away harmlessly. The human ship seemed to be dancing through the enemy fire without taking any damage. Choi Yuna fired back with deadly accuracy. Every shot she took hit an alien ship exactly where she aimed. The human weapons were different from anything the aliens had seen before. They did not use energy or explosives. They fired solid rounds, at incredible speed. The rounds went through alien armor. Like it was paper. One by one, the alien ships began to explode. The human weapons caused massive internal damage that spread through entire vessels. Some ships broke apart, some caught fire. Some simply lost power and drifted away. The aliens had never faced an enemy that could destroy their ships so easily. Jiang Wu was monitoring all the alien communications. He could hear the fear in their voices. The alien captains were panicking. They were calling for help and asking what they should do. Their confident voices from the beginning of the battle were gone. The fleet commander ordered his ships to retreat, but it was too late. The Earth ship was too fast, and its weapons were too accurate. The aliens who tried to run were caught and destroyed. The ones who stayed to fight were destroyed even faster, in less than 10 minutes. 20 alien warships had been reduced to burning wreckage. The Earth ship floated in the middle of the debris field without a scratch on its ugly hull. The remaining 30 alien ships hung back, unsure what to do next. Li Hyun spoke to the alien commander again. 20 of your ships are gone, he said. How many more do you want to lose before you understand that this battle is already over? The alien commander did not answer. He was staring at his tactical displays, trying to figure out how humans had built such a powerful ship. The ugly vessel in front of him had just destroyed some of the most advanced warships ever built, and it had done so easily. Park Nari checked her systems. Everything was still working perfectly. The ship had barely used any of its real power. The aliens thought they had seen the human weapons at full strength, but they were wrong. The real battle was just beginning. Captain Li Hyun walked slowly across the metal floor of his ship. The bridge was quiet except for the soft hum of machines working in the background. He could hear the alien voices coming through the radio speakers. They were laughing at his ship and calling it names. The Earth ship looked terrible from the outside. Everyone could see that paint was peeling off the metal walls in long strips. Steam came out of pipes that stuck out at weird angles. The whole ship looked like someone had built it from spare parts found in a junkyard. The aliens flying around it in their shiny, perfect ships thought it was the funniest thing they had ever seen. One alien ship came very close to the Earth ship. Its captain spoke through the radio in broken, human language. Your ship looks like garbage, he said with a voice full of laughter. We have never seen anything so ugly flying in space. How did you even get this thing to work? Hyun listened to the insults but did not get angry. He knew something the aliens did not know. He knew what was really inside his ship. Engineer Park Nari had worked for 5 long years to build the most advanced human technology ever created. She had built weapons that could destroy anything. The engines looked weak, but could push the ship faster than any alien craft had ever moved. The armor looked thin, but was stronger than anything in the Galaxy Park. Nari stood at her control station, checking all the systems one more time. She was a small woman, but she was the smartest engineer on Earth. Her hands moved quickly over the buttons and screens. Everything was working perfectly. The aliens thought they were looking at a week-old ship, but they were actually looking at the most dangerous weapon humans had ever built. More alien ships came to look at the Earth ship. There were dozens of them now. All different shapes and sizes, but all clean and shiny and new. Their hulls gleamed like mirrors in the starlight. Their weapons looked sleek and deadly. Their engines glowed with bright energy. The contrast with the ugly Earth ship was almost funny. The alien fleet commander finally spoke to Li Hyun. His voice was deep and proud and full of confidence. We are the Galactic Council fleet, he announced. We have come to see what the humans have built for their first warship. We must say we are very disappointed. This thing you call a ship is an insult to all spacecraft everywhere. Li Hyun smiled but did not answer yet. He looked around his bridge at his crew pilot Kim Dae sat at the controls. His hands were steady on the steering wheel even though 50 alien warships surrounded them. Kim Dae had trained for this moment his whole life. He knew every bolt and wire in the ship. He could fly it. With his eyes closed, Weapons Officer Choi Yuna was checking her targeting systems. She was young, but she was the best shot in the entire human military. Her fingers danced over the weapon controls like she was playing music. each gun and missile on the ship was ready to fire. The aliens had no idea what kind of firepower was pointed at them. Communications officer Jiang Wu was listening to all the alien radio chatter. He could understand 12 different alien languages he was recording, everything they said and learning about their technology just by listening to them talk. The aliens thought humans were primitive, but Jiang Wu was already inside their computer systems. The alien commander spoke again. "Human captain, we offer you one chance to surrender. Your pathetic vessel will be destroyed in minutes. We will make your death quick and painless if you give up now. You cannot fight our entire fleet with that flying scrap heap." The other alien captains joined in with their own insults. They called the Earth ship a floating trash can. They said it looked like someone had crashed 3 different ships together and tried to fix them with tape. They wondered out loud how humans had even learned to fly in space with such terrible technology. Li Hyun finally decided to answer. He pressed the button to open the communication channel and spoke in a calm, clear voice. "Thank you for your generous offer," he said. "But we did not come all this way just to surrender. We came here to show you what human engineering can do." The aliens laughed even harder at this. They could not believe a human was threatening them while flying such an ugly ship. Their laughter filled the radio channels. Some of them were laughing so hard, they had trouble flying their ships in straight lines. But Li Hyun was not finished talking. He continued in the same calm voice. "You look at our ship and see weakness. We look at our ship and see possibility. You see old metal and steam pipes. We see the future of warfare. You think you know everything about fighting in space. You are about to learn that you know nothing, Park." Nari nodded at her captain and began activating systems that the aliens could not detect. Power levels throughout. The ship began to rise. The reactor that looked like an old engine was actually the most advanced power source ever built. It could generate more energy than some small stars. The weapons that looked like simple cannons were actually precision instruments of destruction. Kim Dae tested the engines without the aliens noticing. The ship moved just a tiny bit, but he could feel the incredible power waiting to be unleashed. The engines could accelerate the ship so fast it would seem to teleport the aliens. Flying their fancy ships had no idea they were about to be outrun by something that looked like it should not even be able to fly. Choi Yuna finished her targeting preparations. Every alien ship was now marked in her computers. She knew exactly where to hit each one to cause maximum damage. The weapons were loaded with ammunition that could punch through any armor. The aliens thought their shields and hulls were unbreakable. They were wrong. Jiang Wu had been busy during the conversation. He had sent computer viruses into the alien communication networks. The viruses were hidden in normal radio signals. The aliens thought they were just receiving regular transmissions, but actually their computer systems were being infected. The viruses would activate when the battle started. The alien commander was getting impatient. "Human captain, you have had enough time to think. Give us your answer now. Will you surrender? Or will you force us to destroy you, Li?" Hyun looked at his crew one more time. They were all ready. They had trained for this moment. They knew their ship was the most advanced fighting machine ever built, even though it looked like garbage. The aliens were about to get the shock of their lives. The captain pressed the communication button and gave his final answer. "We choose to fight," he said. "And when this battle is over, you will tell the entire galaxy that humans are not to be underestimated. Ever again." The alien laughter stopped. The radio channels went quiet for a moment. Then the fleet commander spoke again in a voice full of anger. "Very well, human. You have chosen your fate. Prepare to be destroyed." The alien capital ships began charging their most devastating weapons. These were planet-killer beams that could crack worlds in half. The energy buildup made the ships glow like small suns, and the space around them crackled with power. The fleet commander was ready to use his ultimate weapons. But as the aliens prepared their final attack, something very strange began to happen. All across the alien fleet ships started having problems. Engines that had worked perfectly for years suddenly sputtered and died. Weapon systems that had never failed began shutting down one by one. Communication arrays went silent. The alien engineers ran through their ships trying to fix the malfunctions, but everything they touched seemed to break even. Worse, computer screens filled with error messages in languages nobody recognized. Warning lights flashed in every corridor. Automated systems began working backwards on the bridge of his flagship. The alien commander stared at his control panels. In confusion, nothing was responding to his orders. The ship that had been charging its planet-killer weapon was now drifting helplessly. The massive energy buildup was fading as power systems failed throughout the vessel. "What is happening to our ships?" the commander demanded over the radio. But many of his captains could not answer because their communication systems were dead. The few who could still talk reported the same problems everywhere. Equipment failures, system crashes, total loss of control. Jiang Wu smiled as he watched his computer screens, showing the chaos spreading through the alien fleet. He had been very busy during the battle. While everyone was watching the fighters and drones, he had been fighting a different kind of war, a war that happened inside computer systems. Months before the battle, Jiang Wu and a team of human programmers had created something special. They called it the Ghost Virus. It was designed to attack alien computer systems in ways that had never been tried before. The virus could hide inside normal radio signals and spread from ship to ship. Every time an alien vessel had scanned the Earth ship or communicated with other ships, they had unknowingly downloaded the virus. The Ghost Virus was patient. It waited and learned about alien technology. It studied their computer languages and security systems. Then it began to spread. The virus was incredibly smart. It could copy itself and change its code to avoid detection. It jumped from ship to ship through communication networks, hiding in routine data transfers. By the time the aliens realized what was happening, their entire fleet was infected. The Ghost Virus did not just break things randomly. It was programmed to cause maximum confusion. It made engines run backwards. It turned weapons toward friendly ships. It filled computer screens with false information. It even changed the music that played in alien crew quarters to annoying human songs. Park Nari had helped design the virus to work with alien technology. She had studied captured alien computers for years, learning how they worked. The virus used this knowledge to attack the aliens with their own systems. It turned their advanced technology against them. Alien fleet was falling apart from within. Ships that had been in perfect formation began drifting into each other as their navigation systems failed. Weapons that had been aimed at the Earth ship suddenly pointed in random directions. Some ships even began firing at their own fleet by mistake. The fleet commander tried to regain control, but his own ship was as infected as all the others. His commands went to the wrong systems. His tactical displays showed impossible information. His communication system kept playing human music instead of carrying his voice on. The Earth ship Li Hyun watched the alien fleet tear itself apart. This was better than he had hoped. The virus was working even more effectively than the programmers had predicted. The mighty alien armada was being destroyed by invisible enemies they could not fight. Some alien ships tried to shut down their computers completely, but this only made things worse. Modern spacecraft needed computers to control everything. Without them, the ships became floating metal boxes that could not move, fight, or even maintain life support. The virus had learned the alien computer languages so well that it could write its own programs. It began creating new problems faster than the aliens could fix the old ones. Every time they thought they had found a solution, the virus adapted and found a new way to cause trouble. Alien engineers worked desperately in their machine rooms, but they were fighting an enemy they could not see. Every tool they used, every system they accessed gave the virus new ways to spread and cause damage. The harder they tried to fix things, the worse the problems became. The remaining alien fighters that had survived the drone attack found themselves unable to return to their ships. The landing bays would not open. The communication systems could not guide them in. Some fighters ran out of fuel and drifted away into space. Li Hyun decided it was time to explain what was happening to the alien commander. He opened a communication channel that the virus allowed to work. "Your ships are being destroyed by human technology," he said. "But this time the weapons are invisible." The alien commander could barely hear the human captain over the sound of alarms and emergency announcements echoing through his ship. "What have you done to us?" he demanded. His voice was full of fear for the first time in the battle. "We gave you a gift," Zhang Wu answered, speaking for the first time. "Every time you scanned our ship, you received a present from Earth. Our computers are much friendlier than yours. They like to share programs with everyone they meet." The aliens finally understood what had happened. The ugly human ship had been more than just a weapons platform. It had been a delivery system for the most sophisticated computer virus ever created. The virus had infected their entire fleet through their own communication networks. Some alien ships tried to destroy their own computer systems with explosive charges, but the virus had spread to backup systems and emergency computers. Even the most basic ship functions were now under human control. The aliens were trapped inside their own vessels. The ghost virus began to display messages on alien computer screens. "In perfect alien languages, we are humans." The messages said, "We do not forgive. We do not forget. Your ships belong to us now. Resistance is futile and also pointless." The alien fleet that had arrived to conquer Earth was now completely helpless. Their advanced technology had been turned into a weapon against them. Their own ships had become their prisons. The tables had been turned completely park. Nari began preparing for the next phase of the battle. Now that the alien fleet was helpless, it was time to show them the true power of human weapons. The aliens had only seen a tiny fraction of what the Earth ship could do. The real demonstration was about to begin. The alien fleet commander decided to change his strategy. He had lost too many large ships trying to fight the humans with conventional weapons. Now he would try something different. He would use numbers to overwhelm the single Earth ship attack. "Fighters, prepare for launch," the commander ordered. Every ship in the fleet began opening huge doors in their hulls. Hundreds of small fighter craft poured out like angry wasps, leaving their nest. Each fighter was fast and deadly with enough firepower to destroy a normal ship. The fighters were beautiful machines with swept wings and glowing engines. They moved in perfect formations like flocks of metal birds. Their pilots were the best in the alien fleet. Each one had years of training and experience. They had never lost a battle wave after wave of fighters launched from the alien ships. Soon there were more than 1,000 small craft swarming around the Earth ship. They flew in complex patterns that confused the eye and made targeting difficult. This was the famous alien swarm tactic that had conquered dozens of worlds. Li Hyun watched the fighters surround his ship. He was not worried. Park Nari had prepared for exactly this situation. She had built defenses that no alien had ever seen. Before, hidden all over the Earth ship were tiny doors that were about to open. The fighter attack began from all directions at once. Thousands of small missiles streaked toward the Earth ship, followed by beams of energy. The aliens were sure that even the strange human armor could not stop this much firepower concentrated on one target. But as the missiles got close to the Earth ship, something unexpected happened. Tiny doors opened all over the hull, and clouds of small objects came pouring out. They looked like metal insects or mechanical birds. Each one was no bigger than a person could hold in their hands. The small objects were drones built by Park Nari using technology that pushed the limits of what was possible. Each drone had its own computer brain and could think and react faster than any living pilot. They moved with perfect coordination, like they were all part of one giant mind. The alien missiles hit the cloud of drones and exploded harmlessly. The drones absorbed the blasts and kept flying. They moved so fast they looked like streaks of light weaving between the enemy fighters. Some drones rammed into alien craft, destroying them instantly. Others used tiny weapons to slice through fighter hulls. The alien pilots had never faced anything like this. They were used to fighting big, slow targets, not thousands of tiny, fast enemies that moved like they could read minds. Their weapons were designed for ship-to-ship combat and were almost useless against targets so small. Kim Dae kept the Earth ship moving through the battle zone like it was dancing. The big ship flowed between groups of fighters like water flowing around rocks. The aliens tried to box it in, but it always found a way through their formations. The drones were doing incredible damage to the fighter swarm. They attacked in groups of 10 or 20, focusing their fire on single targets. Each alien fighter that was destroyed made the swarm a little weaker. The perfect formations began to break apart as pilots tried to escape the mechanical insects. Choi Yuna was still firing the main weapons at larger targets. Her shots passed through the swarms of fighters and drones without hitting any friendlies. The drones seemed to know exactly where she was aiming and moved out of the way at the last second. The alien fleet commander watched his fighter wings being torn apart. He had sent his best pilots in his fastest ships, but they were being destroyed by tiny machines that seemed to appear from nowhere. His tactical displays showed red marks where fighters had been shot down. More fighters launch immediately, the commander ordered. Every remaining ship send all your attack craft. We will overwhelm them with pure numbers. Another wave of fighters poured from the alien ships. This time there were even more of them. The sky filled with so many small craft that they blocked out the stars. Their engines created trails of light that looked like a meteor shower, but Park Nari was ready for this too. More doors opened on the Earthship and even more drones emerged. The number of small defenders doubled and then tripled. Each new drone was slightly different from the others. Some were built for speed, others for firepower, others for ramming attacks. The battle became a storm of tiny moving objects. Alien fighters and human drones twisted around each other in a deadly dance that was too fast for human eyes to follow. The space around the Earthship looked like it was full of fireflies that were trying to kill each other. The drones began to work together in ways that amazed even Park Nari. Groups of them would surround an alien fighter and attack from all sides. Others would form walls to protect the Earthship from missile attacks. Still others would hunt in packs like metal wolves. The alien pilots were getting desperate. They tried everything they could think of to stop the drones. Ramming attacks, suicide runs, coordinated missile strikes. Nothing worked. The drones seemed to predict every move before it happened. Jiang Wu was analyzing the alien communications and feeding information to the drone network. Every time an alien pilot talked to his squadron leader, the drones knew what they were planning. The aliens were fighting an enemy that could read their thoughts. The swarm tactic was failing completely. Instead of overwhelming the Earthship, the alien fighters were being systematically destroyed by an enemy. They could not understand or predict. The perfect formations were gone, replaced by chaos and panic. Some alien fighters tried to return to their ships, but the drones followed them. The tiny machines chased the fighters all the way back to the fleet and began attacking the larger ships too. Soon explosions were blooming on the hulls of alien cruisers and battleships. The fleet commander realized his mistake too late. The human ship had turned his own tactic against him. Every fighter he sent out was destroyed, and now his capital ships were under attack by swarms of tiny enemies he could not stop. Li Hyun spoke to the alien commander again. "Your fighters are very pretty," he said, "but they are too slow and too predictable. Our drones are faster, smarter, and more dangerous. Perhaps you should try a different strategy." The commander looked at his tactical display. More than half his fighters were gone, and the survivors were running for their lives. The human ship was still undamaged, and now it had clouds of deadly drones protecting it. The battle was going very badly. The aliens had one more surprise, though. The remaining capital ships began to glow with a different kind of energy. They were charging their most powerful weapons. Planet killers that could destroy entire worlds. The commander was desperate enough to use them. Li Hyun looked out at the alien fleet drifting helplessly in space. Their ships were dark and silent like metal tombstones floating among the stars, but the human captain was not satisfied with just winning this battle. He wanted to send a message that would echo across the entire galaxy. "The time has come to show our true strength," Li Hyun said to his crew. Park Nari smiled and began activating systems that had been hidden since the ship was built. The aliens thought they had seen human technology in action, but they had only witnessed the beginning. All across the Earthship, hidden panels began to slide open, revealing weapons that looked like they belonged in science fiction stories. Energy cannons emerged from concealed ports. Their barrels glowed with power that made the air itself seem to vibrate. Missile launchers rose from secret compartments loaded with warheads that could crack moons, but the most impressive sight was the ship itself transforming. Parts of the hull that had looked like random metal plates suddenly moved and rearranged themselves. The ugly patchwork exterior fell away like a disguise, revealing a sleek, deadly warship underneath. The aliens, who still had working sensors, could not believe what they were seeing. The garbage scow they had been mocking was actually the most advanced battleship ever built. The peeling paint and steam pipes had been fake. The real ship was a masterpiece of engineering and destruction park. Nari had spent 5 years designing the transformation system. The outer hull was designed to make the ship look weak and primitive while hiding weapons that could destroy planets. The reactor that powered everything was based on principles that alien science said were impossible. The reactor used controlled fusion reactions that generated more power than some stars. The energy output was so enormous that the ship could have powered entire worlds. The weapons systems were designed to channel this incredible power into beams that could cut through anything. Choi Yuna began targeting the largest alien ships. Her new weapons could lock onto targets from impossible distances. The targeting computers analyzed enemy vessels and found their weakest points. Every shot would cause maximum damage. The aliens had no idea what was coming. The first energy beam fired from the Earthship was like a sword made of pure light. It crossed the space between ships instantly and struck an alien battleship in the center. The massive vessel simply vanished in a flash of white fire. Nothing remained, not even debris. The alien fleet commander watched his flagship disappear and felt his heart stop. The weapon that had just fired was beyond anything in his experience. It had erased a ship that was supposed to be indestructible. The humans had technology that defied the laws of physics. More beams fired from the Earthship. Each one deleted an alien vessel from existence. The weapons were so precise they could target specific parts of ships. The aliens watched in horror as their most powerful warships were cut apart piece by piece. Some alien ships that still had power tried to activate their shields, but the human weapons cut through energy barriers like they were made of paper. The shields that had protected alien fleets for centuries were useless against beams that seemed to ignore all known laws of defense. The missile launchers on the Earthship began firing projectiles that moved faster than light. Each missile could change direction in flight and chase targets that tried to escape. The warheads contained compressed matter that exploded with the force of colliding planets. Kimday piloted the Earthship through the alien formation like an artist painting. With destruction, the ship moved with impossible grace for something so large it danced between enemy vessels while its weapons carved paths of devastation through the fleet. The aliens finally understood that they were not fighting a ship built by primitive humans. They were facing technology so advanced it seemed like magic. The beings they had thought were backwards, cave dwellers, had actually surpassed every known civilization. Zhang Wu monitored communications from across the galaxy. As news of the battle spread, other alien races were receiving reports about the human ship that was destroying an entire fleet. The fear in those messages was spreading faster than light itself. The ghost virus was still working inside alien computer systems, but now it had a new job. It began broadcasting the battle to every corner of the galaxy. The virus wanted everyone to see what happened to races that underestimated humanity. Park Nari revealed the final surprise hidden in the Earthship design. She activated the matter conversion system. This device could change empty space into solid objects or turn enemy ships into harmless gas. The aliens watched their remaining vessels simply cease to exist. The transformation was beautiful and terrible at the same time. Solid metal became streams of glowing particles that scattered into the cosmic wind. Weapons that had conquered worlds became clouds of sparkling dust. The alien fleet was being unmade at the atomic level. Some alien captains tried to surrender, but their communication systems were still infected by the virus. Their desperate pleas for mercy were replaced by human songs and poetry. The virus seemed to enjoy the irony of alien ships begging for help in human voices. The Earthship continued its deadly dance through the enemy formation. Every movement was calculated to cause maximum psychological impact. The humans were not just winning, they were demonstrating complete dominance over alien technology and tactics. The few alien ships that still existed were running on emergency power. Their crews huddled in dark corridors listening to the sounds of their fleet being destroyed. The mighty armada that had arrived to conquer Earth was being erased from existence. Lee Hyun spoke to the surviving aliens over the radio that the virus allowed to function. "Your technology is impressive," he said in a calm voice, "but human imagination is limitless. We have shown you a tiny fraction of our capabilities." The next ships we build will make this one look primitive. The alien commander who had been so confident at the beginning of the battle was now broken and terrified. His voice shook as he tried to respond. "How is this possible?" he whispered. "Your species was supposed to be inferior. We studied your world. You had no advanced technology. We learned from watching you." Li Hyun replied. "Every alien ship that visited Earth taught us something new. We took your best ideas and made them better. We combined technologies in ways you never imagined. We are very good students." The battle was almost over. Only a handful of alien ships remained intact, and they were helpless to fight or flee. The Earth ship floated among the wreckage like a predator that had finished hunting. The message had been sent and received. Humanity had announced its arrival on the galactic stage in the most dramatic way possible. The species that everyone had dismissed as primitive had just destroyed the most powerful fleet ever assembled. The galaxy would never be the same. The battle was over. The space around Earth was filled with the glowing remains of what had once been the most powerful alien fleet in the galaxy. Twisted metal and streams of ionized gas drifted slowly through the darkness like the ghosts of destroyed dreams. Only one alien ship remained intact. Li Hyun had deliberately spared the flagship so that someone could carry word of this battle to the far corners of the galaxy. The massive vessel drifted powerless and dark, its crew huddled inside waiting for death that never came. The alien commander sat on his bridge staring at screens that showed nothing but wreckage where his proud fleet had been. His hands shook as he tried to understand what had just happened. 50 of the most advanced warships ever built had been destroyed by a single human vessel. The ghost virus had released control of the flagship communication systems. The alien commander could speak again, but his voice was broken and defeated. When he finally found the courage to contact the Earthship, his words came out as barely a whisper. "What are you?" He asked the question that would haunt his dreams for the rest of his life. The beings he had thought were primitive animals had just demonstrated technology that seemed like magic. His entire understanding of the universe had been shattered. Li Hyun answered in the same calm tone he had used throughout the battle. "We are humans," he said simply. "Nothing more and nothing less. We are the species you thought was too weak to matter. We are the race you decided to conquer." The alien commander tried to process this information. His people had studied Earth for years before launching the invasion. Human technology had seemed centuries behind alien science. Human weapons were crude. Human ships were slow. Everything pointed to an easy victory. "But you had no advanced technology," the commander protested desperately. "Our scouts reported that humans were still using chemical rockets and metal bullets. Your cities had no energy shields. Your armies had no plasma weapons. How did you hide all of this?" "We did not hide anything," Park Nari answered, speaking for the first time to an alien. "We built it all while you were watching. You saw our old technology and assumed we could not create new technology. You made the mistake of thinking we were finished learning." The truth was even more devastating than the commander had imagined. The humans had not possessed advanced weapons when the aliens first discovered Earth. Everything the Earthship carried had been built in the 5 years since first contact with alien scouts. Human scientists and engineers had worked day and night studying every piece of alien technology they could find. They had analyzed radio transmissions, decoded alien languages, and reverse-engineered crashed scout ships. Every alien visit to Earth had been a learning opportunity. "We watched you the way you watch insects," Jiang Wu added with a smile in his voice. "Every time you scanned our planet, you told us more about your technology. Every message you sent taught us your weaknesses. We were studying while you were laughing." The alien commander realized the horrible truth. His own arrogance had doomed his fleet. The aliens had been so confident of their superiority that they had never bothered to hide their technology from the primitive humans. They had practically given Earth the blueprints for their own destruction. The humans had taken alien science and improved it in ways the original creators never imagined. Human creativity and alien technology had combined to produce weapons and defenses that surpassed anything in the galaxy. The students had become the masters. Li Hyun decided to deliver the message that would echo throughout known space. "Listen carefully to what I tell you," he said to the alien commander. "You will return to your people and you will tell them exactly what happened here." The captain continued speaking in a voice that carried the weight of absolute authority. "You will tell them that this ship is just our prototype. You will explain that this